All right, so welcome back to another episode of Poke Cafe, and today we're going to talk about the Scarlet and Violet series Twilight Masquerade. So this set came out in order to highlight one of the first DLC in the Scarlet and Violet video games, which takes place in the land of Kitakami. And so what you'll see is a lot of Pokemon that center around the Kitakami region of Scarlet and Violet. And so some of the featured cards that we'll see on the Pokemon website, Ogerpon, he's uh, basically the mascot Pokemon of this of Twilight Masquerades. He comes in different forms. There's the Teal Mask, the Heart Flame Mask is what they call it, the Wellspring Mask, which is basically a water type, and the Cornerstone Mask. And then there's a card that features all the masks. So if we take a look, or if we go back for a second, we can see here featured products. So there's the Elite Trainer box, and then the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer box. This is the Pokemon Center exclusive, this is the regular one. So my thing with collecting Elite Trainer boxes is, um, one second. So my thing is, if you're collecting Elite Trainer boxes, I would only get the Pokemon Center exclusive ones, just because they come with. Here, let's see if they show the difference here. Just because they come with the promo that includes. Sorry about that. It includes two promo cards: the regular promo and then the promo with the Pokemon Center stamp. Doesn't really. Oh, here it is. So there's the. If you can see it, the Pokemon Center stamp. These are the ones that usually go up in value and are worth the investment over time. The non-Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes are usually much cheaper. However, they come with less packs, and you don't get that exclusive Pokemon Center stamp that differentiates it from other Elite Trainer boxes. And then the second reason is, once these go out of production, you can usually find the regular Elite Trainer box on secondary markets. However, the Pokemon Center one is usually harder to find. So always, if you're gonna go that route in collecting Elite Trainer boxes, I highly recommend getting the Pokemon Center one. There's also the Build and Battle deck, build and Battle box that comes with every set, and then the booster box. The booster boxes of Twilight Masquerade have been rising lately. However, we can close that. So I did see today that there's someone selling it on eBay for $95, which is pretty good. If we check TCG Player, TCG Player. If we check how much the price, see 167, and it's been climbing over the past 3 months. So getting it for 100, I would highly get that. I'm probably gonna get one myself, just for the collection. I also have the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. That $95 eBay price is a pretty good deal, and then you'll see various prices between 100 to 130. This one says 55 on eBay, but I'm not sure what the legitimacy of this one is. Probably, huh, interesting. Oh, Spanish, Spanglish. So if you want to stick to the English sets, I would probably go for this one. Just looking at the card gallery again, a lot of Pokemon that you find in the Kitakami region of uh, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the first DLC. So some beautiful artworks. You got Leafeon here, some other Pokemon. Applin, which is originally was first shown in Pokemon Sword and Shield, I believe. He has a region variant Diplin, which basically looks like candy apple and festival lead. So there's the Mask Festival and Kitakami when you play the DLC, and there this set highlights that mask, which is a pretty big deal in the game. There's the Future Iron Leaves, Poltergeist, which is a variant of who's that other T Pokemon? But yeah, this is a matcha form of that ghost T Poltegeist, and he has his own matcha variant evolution, Sinistcha, which I really love this Pokemon. I really love drinking matcha, so I love that they gave matcha its own Pokemon ghost form. And then Ogerpon, he's basically, like I said, the mascot of this DLC. He's essentially a legendary Pokemon. He has his own lore behind him. Basically, the story with Ogerpon. Let's see if we can. So this is the official artwork of the DLC. There's the main characters dressed in Japanese clothing, and this region takes place in an area of Japan. So there's a lot of Japanese themes which we haven't seen since the first 4 generations. You've got Ogerpon in the back, and then these guys, which are, in a group named the Loyal Three. And like I said, there's a lore about Ogerpon and the man, his trainer, kind of moving to Kitakami. However, because of their face, they looked very different from the people there, and so they had to wear masks in order to hide their identity and interact with the community. However, the loyal, quote unquote, loyal three come in, attack them, and take their masks. But there's more to it than that, and I'll probably talk about that story more when I talk about the Shrouded Fable set, because it goes into the Loyal 3 in more depth and detail. So here's the Loyal 3. The title of this article says the misportrayal of Ogerpon and the revival of the Loyal 3. So again, I'll talk to that, but this is just a little kind of give you a hint of what's going on next. And here's another artwork of a battle between Ogerpon, who's kind of known as this evil ogre within the village of Kitakami. They kind of look at him as this bad guy, falsely look at him as this bad guy when actually he's relatively good, or his actions were justified as a means of self-defense against the Loyal Three who were attacking him for his masks. And then another Pokemon in the Kitakami region is Bloodmoon Ursaluna. So if you remember Ursaluna, who was featured in Pokemon Legends Arceus, now has a Bloodmoon form, and the only way to get him in Scarlet and Violet is to meet this trainer named Perrin, who is also a photographer, and basically register 150 Pokemon to your Kitakami Pokedex. So basically catch all the Pokemon in Kitakami, show her that you caught them, and then you'll have access to the Blood Moon Beast, which is a pretty cool story. So yeah, I think this set has a lot to offer. I think it's appropriately going up. I honestly thought it was very underrated at first, but it looks like people are catching on to how much lore is behind this set. And so if we go back to the featured cards, they kind of start to make sense now. Beautiful artwork. Slugma, which is also found. So a lot of Pokemon found in the Kitakami region are not found anywhere else within Paldea. Here's the fire type that you find in the set. Chi-Yu, which is one of the 4 legendaries. Let's see. A lot of cool looking cards, but we're going to scroll down and focus on the full arts. So this is a beautiful card, Pinsir, just kind of hanging out there on the village side. And I really like that the background of the really reflects Kitakami. It's kind of this island village type area and with mountains, and that's exactly what you see here. Pinsir looking happy as ever. A bunch of sunflora kind of outside the home in Kitakami, um, basking in the sunlight. I love this card. It's Diplin. Kind of you see him at the festival stands in Kitakami, probably at the Mask Festival, the annual Mask Festival. Poltergeist, you guys know how much I love this matcha Pokemon. This is the first evolution. He's just giving some matcha to a little boy who seems to have just discovered him. Torkoal in this wood fire area. Looks like this old man's feeding him coal, or maybe placing coal into his back in order to keep the fire burning. This is a cool Blaziken art. Um, doesn't really have any significant Blaziken, or sorry, Infernape doesn't really have any significant uh, meaning within the Teal Mask or Twilight Masquerade, but it's a cool artwork of Infernape. Frostlass, Fione, bringing back Gen 4. I like the Whalmer and the Whalelords in the background, kind of the viewing angle, seeing him looking up at the water. I love these new artworks where kind of everything is blurred out and there's one Pokemon that's in focus, similar to Chimcho here. Gives them the Pokemon a very realistic feel, which is very unique. It says illustration rend. Wonder what that means. Here's another one. So this is definitely a new approach that they're going in, and I think it's a really good addition, you know. Wattrel kind of diving into the water, probably hunting for food. Enamorous. I don't hear much about Enamorous anymore. Uh, Definitely when was it revealed in Legends Arceus and kind of came and went. But this is a pretty cool card. Kind of reminds me of Valentine's Day with all the hearts. So Growlithe, Hisui and Growlithe. I don't know if you guys have seen the other side of this card. It's pairing. They kind of come as a pair card. Pairing. So this is definitely one that collectors are highly sought out by collectors just because it's a continuation card. People really like that. Probopass just kind of acting like a statue in the city. Timber, this reminds me of Pokemon Black and White, where the Timbers are kind of working on building homes. This also reminds me of the that festival grounds. Actually, a lot of this reminds me of the Kitakami region with the festival grounds. Lairon kind of in a like a wasted space, just a lot of metal. Applin, the original form, I really like this card. It's got this pattern look, and you can kind of like Where's Waldo? Can you find the Applin? So there's one here. Really unique idea. Really very natural environment. This one's really cool. Tatsugiri, this is a very artsy card. I bet I can guess who the artist is. It looks like his style. If you can guess who the artist is, let me know in the comments. I can't remember his name, but this definitely looks like his style. Tatsugiri, if you didn't know, is a sushi Pokemon, so it's a fish on top of rice. Really cool art style. It's got that pattern look. We have Chansey here. Looks like probably in a Pokemon Center by the looks of it. Kind of rushing around, maybe working in the Pokemon Center, collecting or running an errand. This is a beautiful EV card, and I believe it's going up in value. Let's see. I want to say it's a pretty expensive card, $53. So it looks like it's kind of just held that really expensive spot, which I can see why. Beautiful card, multiple EVs in the set. Again, Sinistcha, love the matcha. Teal Mask Ogerpon. So this is one of his unique moves. He kind of puts on different masks and terrestrializes with them. And I love how this highlights the terrestrialization as we see in a lot of the modern sets. It's got this classic like white gem background, and I think they did that because the terrestrializations are so colorful and rainbowy. It can only be put, it would only be highlighted with a white background in the back, and I think they pulled that off really nicely. Magmar terrestrialized with fire, really cool. And it looks like as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks. So cool little terrestrial effect. Heat Flame Mask Ogerpon, so different mask, different terrestrialization. Palafin, Wellspring Mask, so water type. It's pretty cool. You've got future Pokemon, Iron Thorns, ancient Pokemon, Screamtail. So I like that they incorporated at least something from the original Paldea sets, the Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces, into this set. Scarlet, a terrestrialized Greninja. Everybody loves a good Greninja card. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, terrestrialized, so the last one of the three masks. Then you have the Dragon, Dragapult, Blissey, Bloodmoon Ursaluna. There is an alternative art version of this card, a full illustration rare, that I like even more. Caretaker, you meet him in the DLC of the game, the Teal Mask. He kind of introduces you to Kitakami. Carmine, who ends up feeling very differential towards you, but then your friendship kind of grows with her. She plays a very significant role in the DLC in both the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc. Her brother Kieran kind of goes through a transformation and has a certain significance with Ogerpon, with the Loyal 3. So you kind of see him grow through the two DLCs. There's Perrin, who we talked about, but this isn't the Perrin card that I was referring to. At least I don't think it is. Here's Growlithe here. Is it the Perrin card? I don't think so. No, so this is the Perrin card. But this is the two side by side, which is really cool. She's known to have Growlithe as her pet Pokemon. Back to the card gallery. Hassel, Lana's Aid, Lucian, Perrin, Sinistcha. I have this card. It's about $20 in value when I bought it. This picture does not do it justice. It just looks really nice in person. It's got this gold huey background with the matcha in the front contrasting to green. Really nice card. Highly recommend picking it up if you really like this Pokemon. Then you have more full art of the teal mask, of the Ogerpon masks variant. Really nice artwork. I like how they put Ogerpon kind of this tiny form here and highlighting the mask. And then everybody knows about the Greninja. Very valuable, beautiful card, beautiful artwork. And we'll talk about the highest chase cards in this set in a minute. But this is the teal mask kind of mascot. I mean, Ogerpon's the mascot. It's on the face of the box and all the boxes. But this is the biggest chase card in the set, and for good reasons. Here's Bloodmoon Ursaluna, kind of in his natural habitat looking for honey. I like how they gave him more of a friendly look, and this one looks like he's a storybook character. You don't really see him reflected like this in a lot of the video game. He's more scarier, but this is pretty cool. It's a really nice card. Carmine, so this is it looks like she's at the Mask Festival, which by the way, if you haven't played the Teal Mask for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, I highly recommend it. Kind of gives more personality to these characters than just seeing them on a card. And that's kind of the whole point of this YouTube channel, to kind of explain the significance of these cards and for them not to just be collectibles, for them to actually have some significant meaning. There's Kieran, her little brother, at the Mask Festival having a good time. You rarely see him happy in the game, so this is a very unique picture. I love how they got the festival stuff in the background. Lana's Aid. Oh, there's the pairing card. Okay, so the one we saw, this one and this one are two different cards. Then you got your gold cards. And if we go to, so what I usually look at is top chase cards, Twilight Masquerade, and there's usually an article, TCG Player Infinite, that gives you like the top 10 chase cards. So like I said, the price of the box is growing. So this is probably a good time to buy it at $100. So the first chase card is Monkey Dory. There is a full art Monkey Dory and Shrouded Fable that I like more, and we'll probably show that in the next video. But it's not expensive. It's 25 cents. Not sure why this is a sought after card. If you don't play the TCG, Monkey Dory looks like a card you'd ignore in your search for real hits, but you shouldn't underestimate this tricky monkey. His brain ability lets you move damage from your Pokemon to your opponent's Pokemon every turn. Well, there you go. In Japan, Monkey Dory is seen playing in Gardevoir X decks. Okay. Legacy Energy, so this is probably more for the TCG, people that play the TCG, not really relevant to collectors. Teal Mask Ogerpon is going for $30. Listed medium price is almost $40. And you can see why. Nice, beautiful green card. Highlights the mask. Unfair Stamp, $4. Tatsugiri. If you don't know, if you didn't know there was a sushi Pokemon, you know now. Not only is the illustration rare by a beautiful piece of art bursting with color and cartoony joy, but the card itself is seriously powerful. Interesting. There's parents, so everybody wants the parent, Hisuian, Growlithe pair. This one's going for $70. This one's going for $8. Collectors love it when the art on different cards come together to tell a bigger story. So, Perrin. Let's see, its value has come down. It used to be in the 80s when it first came out, and now it's down to 70. So, yeah, it's come down in value. Might be a good time to buy. I don't know. Dragapult, $10. Eevee is about $50. Bloodmoon Ursaluna is number 2, about $40. And then Carmine is the number 1 card at $85. Interesting. It's always interesting to see what is the highest chase card. So it's come down in value from 130 when it. So this is what happens with big chase cards. They usually spike up because they're the talk of the town, and then they kind of drop down in value to their actual value, and then slowly start to rise again, and that's where they settle at. So never, never, never chase a card when it first comes out, because you may be paying overpriced for it. What I'm interested in is the fact I don't think this list is very accurate, because the Greninja is the reason why this set is so sought after from hardcore collectors. And as you can see, it's been rising. I know this kind of contradicts what I just said. Some cards are an exception, Greninja being one of them. He kind of started off high and then just kept growing and growing from there. So about $300 was the peak last month, and now he's settling out at the 280. So yeah, for what it's worth. And I believe that is everything I have to say about Twilight Masquerades. Really nice set. I'm probably gonna buy the booster box for that price. I wouldn't buy it any higher than that. I mean, the Pokemon Center sells it for about, I want to say 140 for the booster box. So if you can find a deal on it, I would totally recommend it. And let's see, 160. So yeah, if you can find a deal on it, this is its MSRP price. So if you buy it, I mean, by all means. I like to find good deals for my booster boxes. I don't buy booster boxes unless they're going on sale. But hey, if you really, it has a strong chase card. It's got Greninja. It's got some Pokemon with some pretty sweet lore, and I think that aspect is underrated. Um, See, if these Pokemon came out back in Gen 1, Gen 2, they would, the 3 Loyals would be similar to the 3 Legendary Birds. And Ogerpon would be similar in like legend and fame as Mewtwo. So I think they're really underrated now. I can definitely see their value go up with the next generation of people that just got into Pokemon when they get older. So yeah, really good set. I think it's a really good hold, and that's it. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you've got Twilight Masquerade, if you're getting any Twilight Masquerade, and yeah, and if you have any ideas on future videos, let me know. Thank you.